Welcome to Texas, homeboy. We're here for the US Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. The 9th time we've been here in the United States, the 7th time that the Circuit of the Americas have hosted the US Grand Prix, with the Indianapolis hosting in 2006 and 2007. The circuit is one of 5 tracks on the calendar that's anti-clockwise. Some aspects of the circuit are based on other racetracks around the world. They got their inspiration from a number of circuits. 5 teams having won here over the past 12 seasons. Previous 3 winners here have been winning last season, Jay McKenzie in 2016 and Jay McKenzie in 2015 as well. So it could be very interesting this season to see, not to say one of them won't be obviously winning, because Will now, of course, is not racing in the top tier anymore. Jay McKenzie has a chance, but not a huge chance of winning, as he's in a Renault. But anyway, of course, there'll be 56 laps around this track, a circuit length of 5.513 kilometers, 20 corners, lap record set last season by Armar Carr, a 1:30.7. As you can see, Nicholas Orbach decided it would be a great idea to stop right in the middle of the racetrack at turn 1 there. Tyres we'll be using for this race will be the soft tyres, and the driver of the day from last time out was Florian Volker and Kurosama de Rosa, who both had good races. Volker, of course, winning the Japanese Grand Prix as Suzuka. But here is the starting grid for the US Grand Prix. And on the front row, it is Franco Lopez alongside Armar Carr. A great performance for Lopez in qualifying, also beating the track record by a considerable margin. Row 2, we have Joel Hutter for Red Bull and Joseph Williams for Ferrari. Williams himself still has a slim chance of the title at the moment. Florian Volker 5th for Mercedes and Nicholas Gall 6th for Red Bull. So one of those two is way out of title contention. Evan Burns 7th for Renault, good qualifying by him. Roland Moitin 8th for Force India. On row 5 of the grid, we have Franco Gamba for Haas and Jay McKenzie for Renault. Franco Gamba has already been confirmed for 16. Jay McKenzie still not confirmed yet. Roberto Gamba 11th for McLaren and Tiravi now Tiernan 12th for Force India. On row 7 of the grid, we have George Rokes for Haas and Felix Sontag for Williams. Good qualifying by Sontag as well, actually, in the Williams car, I have to say. Etienne Jones, a great qualifying by him too, making it into Q2, beating the Sauber of Paulino Tomaselli for 16th. On row 9 of the grid, we have Lean Campana for Williams and, of course, David Greenwood filling in for Enis Brachke for the rest of the season. On row 10 of the grid, we have Kurosama de Rosa and Laura Chung, who had originally qualified 10th, but has got a 10th place grid penalty from last time out Suzuka. And the last row of the grid, we have Gabriel Gomez for Sauber and Maxime Titkov for Manor. And before we get into this, the team news this week is that Armar Carr will remain at Ferrari for next season, which was not, well, was it a surprise? I'll let you figure that out, really. But weather-wise, you can see there will be, it looks like a 20% chance of rain, but it will be dry at the start, but rain will come during the middle of the race. This could be very, very interesting indeed. So here we are now on the grid for the US Grand Prix, 56 laps in the greatest country and also the greatest state in the US. The 5 lights are about to come on, and we now have 5 lights on, and it's a long hold. Very long hold, and it's go, go, go! And Lopez makes a great start as they head towards first corner, although Carr actually might be on the inside into the first corner. On second thoughts, a commentator's curse has just happened as Carr has actually taken the lead from Lopez into turn 1. What a start that is. We already have a yellow flag, so something has already happened at the first corner. And George Roke is out, and so is Lean Campana. There's a couple of other cars damaged, but there's 2 cars already out before they even reach the first corner. Lean Campana is out with his special livery. Oh, and Sontag is out, so both Williams are out on the first lap of the race. So the liveries for the Williams have not worked this race. Unfortunately for Roke, it's not worked for him either. Of course, Roke has had a fantastic season so far, and, well, unfortunately not getting anything today, but let's see what happens. So Sontag, off the grid, actually made a much better start than Roke did, actually, or absolutely left him for dust on the line, and then Roke actually came back through, and then, oh, Sontag just went into the back of Roke there, so bit of a silly mistake there by Felix Sontag. Unfortunately got involved with Laura Chung last time out in Japan. This was De Rosa, who actually was one of the drivers who got damage, and he was the one who took out Campana, so De Rosa getting involved there. And there was a wheel going across, and there was oh, and Titkov got damaged, actually. He went into the back of, I think it was Laura Chung. Now here is Gabriel Gomez on the inside of Jones. Was there contact here? Yes, no, and yes. Oh, another one! So that's 4 cars out on the first lap. What a dramatic start to the US Grand Prix. We haven't even got through the first lap yet. Volker trying to get through on the inside there for P3. And now Trin was being overtaken there. I believe that was by Nicholas Gall in the Red Bull. But for Armar Carr, it's the perfect start. It's exactly what he needed. As we look through his Lopez, will be trying to get his way straight back to the lead. Of course, he'll be wanting to get past Carr. They are in a title fight. But just quite a dramatic start. Just 4 cars out on the first lap. That is some way to start off the race. But for Amakar, it's the perfect way to start off the race. He is leading as he exits the final corner and will complete the first lap. And he will be leading as they go on to lap 2. Only 55 laps left now. And he goes across the line. 6 tenths is the gap. And they've already left a gap behind to Joel Hutter in 3rd position. As they head out of turn 1, obviously quite a steep gradient going up to the first corner. So as they come through the S's, Carr is of course leading, Lovis is 2nd, Hutter 3rd, Volker 4th, Willis is 5th. That is your top 5, of course, and there's going to be several cars of course in the pits as Hutter is in P3. Although he's made a mistake, this might not be good for him. He makes a mistake and he manages to just about keep it on the road. So he's just coming to the S's. It was all going well, and then it was through the end part of it, through the right-hander, where you can see he goes wide there. And you can see the little bit of smoke, a little bit of a lock-up there, and struggling to keep the car intact, but fortunately keeps it on the road. Now this is Joseph Willows in the Ferrari behind Volker, who's held up behind Hutter. And does Willows make it through? And oh, no! Oh, I can't believe that. That is very interesting tactics there from Willows, who has, who has knocked Volker and has gone into Hutter. And you probably think, you know, with a certain red car that's leading, that it may have been tactical there, but I'm not going to go into all those conspiracy theories. But Volker has got damage. That is not good for him at all, having won last time out in Japan, and now he's going to have to pit for a new front wing. But what a start this is for, you can see Evan Byrne here in 5th, and David Greenwood, look at that, he's up to 9th already. What a start for David Greenwood on his return to the top tier. Of course, unfortunately didn't win the DTM title last week, as there was a couple of overtakes. I think Roberto Gamma got overtaken by 2 cars actually, going into the final corner, getting held up by Volker going into the pits. So as we look at him on board, you can see there's a car slowing down. Of course, Roberto Gamma, did he try and make a move on the inside? No, just got held up. And then now Tiranen and Tomaselli just snuck through there. So great move there by those two. Roberto Gamma unfortunately got mugged. At the moment, Carr has left Lopez for dust. Now here's Byrne on the inside of Moyton. This is for P5. And Byrne is through, so good move there. Great start for these two, taking advantage, of course, of all the chaos that has happened. But for Volker, not what he would have wanted at all, really, that to happen. It's exactly what he didn't want. Of course, it would be Willows that did it as well. It's almost a double whammy. A real kick up the backside that he didn't want. But, of course, now he'll have to really get himself going. Now, here's David Greenwood, who's having a great start to the race so far. He's now going to try and get past Franco Gamma on the inside. I'm not sure this is going to go well. And is he going to make it stick? No, I don't think so. This is for P8, but Greenwood showing that he hasn't lost it since returning back to the top tier. Of course, he's the test driver, so that's why he took over. And of course, in DTM had a strong showing, but unfortunately is not going to be getting a seat for this for next season, because unfortunately he didn't sign up for the top tier. But still, he'll get some good experience racing in these final few races. Here's Volker now trying to make a move past Titkoff. And oof, that was so close going to the first corner, but Titkoff goes wide and Volker nearly goes into him there. So he's already up to P13 because somebody went into the pits actually on this lap. Don't know who that was, but anyway, so there's a big battle brewing for P8. Greenwood all over the back of Franco Gamba, and now they've got Tiranen and Tomaselli closing up behind as well. So let's see what happens here. Is Greenwood going to make a move? And the answer is no. Franco Gamba defends, and now Tiranen also defending from Tomaselli behind him as well. Now here we are looking at Volker, who still can't get past Maxime Titkoff as they head towards turn 1. Titkoff taking a bit of an unusual line, and Volker following him through the corner here. Gap actually up front, I was just seeing, was about 5 seconds. And you can see Greenwood, and Greenwood has now finally passed Franco Gamba. He's been stuck behind for quite a few laps, but now Greenwood has finally overtaken him. Was it into the first corner or was it on the exit? We've seen a few mistakes here before, and it looks like there was nearly contact there. Franco Gamba went wide. Greenwood said thank you very much and took the position. That was pretty easy to do there. Franco Gamba locking up there, really struggling on his tyres. He's now got Tiranen and Tomaselli behind him as well. This is exactly what he didn't want. He's got a Thai and an Italian. Those two walk into a bar. Who do they see? Another Italian. Now here's Tomaselli trying to make a move on the inside of Tiranen, but failing, and he now has lost a lot of momentum through the corner. Now Tiranen is going to try and make a move on the back of Franco Gamba, and I'm not sure he's going to be close enough, but he's just about the slipstream, but the corner is coming up, and now here's Volker, who's now finally trying to make a move past Titkoff. And is he on the inside? He is. Is he through? He is. So he's now finally up to 12th. He's now going to come up to this battle actually between Gamba, Tomaselli and now Tiranen. So here we are looking at Joseph Willows at the moment running in 3rd. Now Laura Chung has come into the pits actually for another stop. I think she had to pit. She pitted earlier anyway, but she's a lap down, so it'll be tough for her to get some points out of this one. Now his Volker actually closing up to this battle for P9. So sooner rather than later he'll be up into the points. But here we go. I have to hope that he doesn't get involved in any more chaos. Now here we are looking at now Tyrion coming through the last sector of the track, coming through the long right hand and coming into the bottom corner. Though Frank Gabba takes a very unusual line. We've got a yellow flag on the track somewhere, and it's Gabriel Gomez who is out for Sauber. And it looks like Roberto Gabba was involved because there is a wing missing, and it looks to be a wing there too. So it looks like there may have been a collision here. So as we're looking on board, and this was, oh dear, and Roberto Gamba has just punted Gomez off at the end of the straight there, and that was just ruthless. So Gomez is out. That leaves Tomaselli the sole Sauber to try and get points from this race. That was, as I said, just incredibly brutal, really. It was just used him as the brake, really. You can see that coming a mile off. Incident between those two will be under investigation, no surprise. So, I mean, I suppose Gomez was trying to go into the corner, and then I don't know, we'll see what the stewards have to say about that. Volker trying to make it through past Tomaselli into turn 1, but failing. Of course, now Turner is still stuck behind Frank Gamma. Greenwood has left them for dust in the distance. So, as they come through the S's, and can he make it through here? The answer is no. You can't really overtake through here unless someone makes a big mistake. And so, coming towards the back straight, this is where now Turner could have an opportunity, and Volker behind could have an opportunity as well. And now Turner's going to try and go for it, but Gamma blocks him off. And Volker is unable to make it through, but of course now both of these two will make a move on the back straight. Evan Byrne, meanwhile, is going to be pitting. And of course, let's not forget the rain. The rain is going to be coming very soon. That is for sure, of course, because you think it's all over now. There's still so much more that's going to happen, surely, from this race when the rain comes. We're what lap are we on? We're lap 18. So yeah, so I reckon probably maybe in the mid-20s we might start seeing some rain. So we'll see what happens, really. But of course, Willows has just come out of the pits. Byrne is coming in, and he looks to be going on a long stint. Of course, he'll be pitting once more anyway because of the rain, but it'll be interesting to see what pace these guys have on the drives before it starts to rain. So as we look at Byrne coming out of the pits for his first stop, where's he going to come out onto the circuit? And unfortunately he's going to come up behind this big battle for 9th, so that's precisely what he didn't want. As Volker now trying once again to get through and failing to do so. So he's trying to get through past Gamba, who's really struggling at this moment in time. Now Turner, of course, is through at last. Mackenzie, of course, as I forget, running under the Canadian nationality. Still in 6th. So this was now Turner trying to get past. No, he did get past. What am I saying? Of course, I was wondering why now Turner was in time, but he got past. And actually, Volker got past Tomaselli as well. So movement has been made, and I don't know why it took me so long to realise. But finally, Volker has made it through past one Italian. Now he's got to get past the other. So, as now we're looking at this battle for P10, as now Volker is right behind Frank Gamma, and surely he's going to make a move into the first corner. He's right behind, he's on the inside. Is Gamma going to defend? He doesn't really. Volker on the inside. Is he going to do it? The answer is maybe no, he still can't do it. Now Byrne, of course, who's got past Tomaselli. Now he's going to try and make a move past Volker, of course, and being on fresher tyres too, so Volker will have to watch his back. As we look at Nicolas Gal, who is right now running in P3, and David Greenwood, and as we're looking at him coming through, and David Greenwood, he's got a pick, and I think David Greenwood actually has a problem. David Greenwood might have an issue here, and he's running in P7. He was having such a good race, and the race for him might be coming to an end. And as we look at this battle for P9 once again, as Volker is right behind Frank Gammon, sure he's going to make a move coming down the back straight. He's in the slipstream, he's going to move to the left, trying to make a move on the inside. Gamba's not going to make it too easy for him, but Volker is already pretty much past him. And this should be the move done. Volker on the inside, and he is through. As David Greenwood, who at the moment has got a big problem, and it looks like he might, well, let's see if he can get to the pits first of all, but if he doesn't, no, he's not. Greenwood is out. No. Oh, it would have been such a good return for him as well if he'd got points. I think that was, I saw it was a throttle issue. So that is unfortunate for Greenwood. His race is done and dusted, and he is in the dust, literally. So Bosch is actually coming to the pits as well. It was such a shame. He was having such a good race as well. He was pitting in a few laps time. I mean, actually, considering the fact he's pitting in a few laps, he was going to be pitting in a few laps, and his pace was exceptionally good, and he was actually gaining on Jay McKenzie in the Renault in front of him as well. So he would easily have been in with a shadow points. And oh, hello! I think I may have seen the track dampening there. I think at turn 1 it looked like. So I think the rain might be coming. Now here is Byrne trying to make a move on the inside of the track. Turn, it does look a little bit darker, I think. So I think the rain might now have happened. So anyone who pits in a few laps' time may want to change what type of tyre they're racing on. This was Byrne making a great move down the inside of Frank Gamba into the first corner. Great move there, and now he's finally through. Now Almar Carr is into the pits for Ferrari for his first stop of the race, and the incident between Volker and Joseph Wood is concluded to be a racing incident. I guess, well, actually, I mean, I guess that I'm not sure really what to think of that, to be honest. From certain other perspectives, you could say it wasn't a racing incident, but of course I'm not the stewards. I'm just the guy talking. But Almar Carr is coming out of the pits, and I think those are wet tyres, and yes they are, so it looks like the rain is here, and it's going to stay, I think, as well. It was meant to be, I think, pretty heavy. So, I mean, the track doesn't... Well, I mean, it's damp, but actually, it's got a little bit wetter coming through the first corner there. So, I think this actually could be a good move by Carr. But the big question is... I mean, the track still looks pretty dry to me, though. But if it works for him, probably in the next couple of laps, if it really rains hard, then he'll be on the perfect tyre, really. So... this could be very interesting indeed. He's the first one to go onto the wet, so everyone is now going to have to look out for what he's done, really, and now try and follow his lead, I guess. So we'll see if anyone else is pitting on this lap, which I don't believe they are. Byrne, of course, is trying to make a move on now, turning into the first corner. And if Frank Gamba is in, question is, will he go to the wets or not? So he comes in, and he will change the tyres, and... yep, he's on the wets, so yeah, so it looks like once everyone is going to be doing exactly the same as what Carr did. I think I saw Gals coming in, so if that's the case, he's surely going to go on to the wet. I think everyone is now. The fact that Carr's done it, everyone else is. But the question is, of course, Carr being the first one, the track is still looking pretty dry in certain parts of the track. I mean, particularly the back straight, this bit of it at this moment in time looks very dry. So as we look at Byrne, who's once again on the back of now Turin, stuck in a bit of traffic here, and he's going to try and make a move as we look at Lopez, who's being put under pressure by Chung, who is trying to unlap herself, but Lopez is not going to like that. So as we look at Gal, who's coming into the pits now for his first stop of the race. So wet tyres, yep. So everyone is now going to go onto the wet. So Lopez, who is not pitting actually for a few laps, is going to be doing the same. Volker, who's had a pretty good recovery. Actually, for Volker, this actually could work out pretty well, considering the fact, of course, he pitted early on after that incident. But for him as well, with the way he's going, it actually could work out pretty well and still be comfortably in the top 10. As now the spray is finally coming up as Gal exits the pits. So now this is going to be very interesting, of course. But I'm interested to see what Carr's pace was like, really, just as he was pitting. So as we look at Lopez leading, we look at Chung, who's obviously been on the back of Lopez, trying to unlap herself. As now the spray is really coming into effect in the first part of the lap there, just before the S's after turn 1. So Lopez, obviously, if he pits now, will come up behind Carr. And yeah, so I mean, I think he probably needs to pit in a lap or so's time if he wants to really get the optimum temperature out of the wet tyres. Volker is actually trying to pass Mackenzie, who himself is pitting this lap. So it's all about timing. I'm supposed to take it's all about luck, but it's still all about timing. It's when you want to go onto the wets, which, I mean, if they're not on the wets probably by at least maybe lap 25, then it could work out, but it depends how much pace they lose as Volker goes past Mackenzie down the back straight and is going to overtake him for P5 as Mackenzie goes very wide actually there into the corner and takes a very weird line as Volker went past him there, as Byrne finally now passes now Tyrrell for 7th position. So And of course, as I said, for the people who are still going out on dry tyres, and once they pit in, they'll be on the fresher wets. So who knows? I think this will probably work out for them. But I mean, yeah. And the rain is probably not going to it's not going to recede for quite a while, so I think we'll have these wet conditions for the rest of the race, really. As we're looking at the fields now, Mackenzie does come in, and we'll go on to the wets, onto the blue striped tyres, and Roberto Gamma has received a 10-second time penalty for causing the incident with Gabriel Gomez. Not really much of a surprise there. So as we look through the field, anyone else pitting this lap? I think Tomaselli was coming close to the end of his stint. Mackenzie pits and goes out. 7-second stop. Pretty quick. De Rossi still going around on dries. Anyone else pitting on this lap is the big question. Gamma still going around. Kenzie out the pits, comes out in P11, just behind the McLaren there of De Rossa, but I imagine he's going to probably pass it very soon, as the track is pretty wet now. So you look at Lopez, who's still going around, but he's still got Roberto Gamma and Chung behind him, who are trying to unlap themselves. Now Volker right now running in P5. He is going to be pitting pretty soon. Imagine probably either next lap or the lap after. So we're looking at the two Force Indias, 7th and 8th. Tomaselli down there in 9th. Mackenzie now all over the back of De Rossi, so it looks like the wet tyres are the way to go, as Mackenzie's all over him. There's nearly contact. This might not look good. Fortunately, they've avoided damage. You can see actually the gap now between Lopez and Carr is down to 13 seconds, so Lopez, when he pits, is going to come out in third place, as we're now looking at Mackenzie on the inside of De Rossi. So as you can clearly see, Mackenzie going past De Rossi very easily, with a lot of ease. That surely is the indication that everyone on dries needs to get off the dries and onto the wets, the blue striped tyres. Get on them. So as we're now looking at Willows, who is close behind Carr, but of course Carr's on the wets and he'll be quicker, so Willows is not pitting for a while yet, but surely he's got to. Now here's Moitin on the inside of our turn, who himself is going to be pitting this lap. So the gap is set up front down to 13 seconds. Gal is obviously goes in the gap as well, actually it's 34. Volker 49 seconds away. But of course change of position there for the two Force Indias. Volker is going to be pitting fairly soon, and it's working to his advantage as his recovery, so he's going to be at least in the top 5. Actually, Lopez is now pitting for what is obviously the wet tyres. So into the pits he must go. And let's see, so there's a few pit calls this lap as well. I think they're all realising that the dry tyres are at the end of their life, so that's it now. So Lopez comes in and changes all four tyres, and he's going on the one stop. Franco Lopez, he is going on the one stop strategy. Now that is bold, to say the least. I was not expecting this at all, but he's going on the one stop. Willows is not going on the one stop. So Carr is obviously going to take the lead, and I think he's going to be pitting again before the end, obviously, yeah. He's going to be pitting once more. So Lopez is going on the one stop, which I don't know. I'm not sure if that's going to work. I mean, for the time being, I think he's going for a short-term gain, but I suppose will that turn out to be a long-term loss? But he's going for the extreme short-term game, that is for sure. But as we now look at Volker, who himself is coming in for wets, and as we see him coming in, changing all four tyres, there we go, just like that. Byrne is in as well. Of course, he had pitted a few laps ago, so he's lost out a little bit, Byrne. I suppose he'll lose a position to Volker, actually, who was behind him as he goes past. But he'll still be in a good points position and on fresher wets than many of the others around him. So now Tyrion, of course, is coming in for wets as well. Several drivers coming in, and there was another car that was just coming out, going in straight to the pits as well. I'm not sure who that was. I believe, was that Tomaselli? Yeah, it was Tomaselli. So he's coming to the pits as well. And I think that's nearly most of the field, I think, on wet tyres, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's many that are still going around on dries. Frank Gamma now moving into the points. Now Turner will rejoin in 10th position, Roberto Gamma going in. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that means most drivers, or nearly all, are on... Oh, there's one car actually, Reda Moitin, who I think is had to wait for his teammate to go by, but surprisingly he's not pitting yet. But Roberto Gamma is coming in, will be going onto the wets, obviously. So I think Reda Moitin, as I said, I'm pretty sure is the only one. And he's not pitting actually this lap, so he's maybe going to go one more time, I don't know, but don't think it's going to work for him at this moment in time. Yeah, 'cause everyone else is on the wet tyres, and they are clearly the quicker tyre. We'll just see what the gap is between him and Volker. And I would imagine the gap's down. Yep, it's down from 11 to, I think that was 9 seconds, so... And oh no, now the pit indicator has come on. So I was going to say, if he tried to go out any longer, it would be just ridiculous, really. So Moitin comes in, and I wonder if he might try and do the same thing that Lopez is attempting, which is the one-stop, which I personally don't think is going to work. But who knows, I could easily be wrong. But Reda Moitin now coming in for his first stop of the race. Had to wait, of course, an extra lap while his teammate was going, but it'll probably be worth it in the end as long as he keeps it on the road. So he comes in, and nope, he's not going to be going to the end. So a very quick stop there by the Force India crew. So the question is, where is he going to come out? It looks like he's going to still come at the point. He comes up behind the two Renaults. McKenzie just going up to the first corner. He'll come out ahead, I think it looks like, of Franco Gamba. So out of the pits he comes, and he'll come out in 8th position. So I think it's worked out pretty well for Moitin, actually. He's in 8th, so I think he's lost a fair bit of time, but at least he'll still be in the points and on the freshest wets out of anyone. So he needs to use that pace to his advantage at the moment. But yeah, so we're now pretty much just about at the halfway point of this race, and there's still a lot to be decided. But as we look at the cars at the moment leading this race, Lopez is in 2nd, and now of course he's lapping Chung, who've been trying to unlap him for ages, and finally Lopez can get revenge on her. Now here is now Tiernan, who is going past, it looks like, Franco Gamba. This is the battle for P9, and now Tiernan's on the inside. Is he going to make the move? He's on the inside, he's through, is he? Yep, it looks like it. And he's now up into 9th position, so there we go. Now here's Tomaselli, who's trying to get past Frank Gamba. So Frank Gamba at the moment seemingly struggling with pace, doesn't seem to have any in that car, which is unusual because we know how strong the Haas has been over the course of the season, but today just doesn't seem to be the day. So Tomaselli on the inside, and he is through as well. So Frank Gamba now out of the points moment for Haas, which is unusual, really. Seeing the results, Armcar at the moment leading. He's got almost a pit stop advantage over Franco Lopez in 2nd. Volker at the moment running on his own in P5, but he's gained a fair bit from this. So at the moment, of course, he's way off Willows, but from where he was at the start, I mean, the rain kind of worked out perfectly for him, really. Now here's now trying to get past his teammate into the first corner. This is not good. Always very close. And now Tiernan does actually sneak through, actually, so I'm quite surprised, because now Tiernan, Moitin, I thought would have been by far quicker than his teammate, but seemingly not. So now Tiernan has caught him up and has passed him with ease, so very interesting there. So it's amazing how it works in these wet conditions. So as you look at Armcar, of course, leading this race very comfortably at the moment. Now we look at Titkov, who is in trying to get lapped by the fast cars, and this was actually Willows who's actually caught up to Miguelos Gal and actually passed him as he was trying to lap Titkov, so he got held up there. And Willows, did he make a late move on the inside? And wow, look at that! Gal was just not expecting that. He got well and truly mugged, and Willows just said thank you very much and see you later. And of course Titkov then unlapped himself briefly as well. So yeah, I mean, Gal just had no idea that Willows was coming. He probably didn't expect that he would make that move in wet conditions, but of course different lines and everything. And yeah, so Willows up into 3rd position, so not good news for Gal. He'll be pretty annoyed that he got done the way he did there, really. But anyway, we're looking at Franco Lopez, looking at, as you know, Franco Gamba, who's going very wide here, and going even more on the curbs, and lets Franco Lopez lap him there. But Franco Gamba really not having a good race, which is unusual, because of course he's got a top seat next season at Red Bull. Now, Miklas Gau is coming in for another stop, and I would imagine he'll probably go to the end on this on these new set of tyres. So, into the pits he is, and let's have a look. So, he's in, and changes over the tyres, and...
Just prepare yourself for the first gear.
Go now.
Is that enough? 53 to 56. I think that should be enough. Yeah, that'd be... Yeah, it is enough. Yeah, what am I thinking? I was thinking of just 20 laps. Yeah, my bad. Oh dear, but yeah, my maths is just really awful. Anyway, so of course Gal will be going to the end, obviously. No thanks to my terrible maths. Car at the moment is leading. The gap to Lopez behind is 15.7. So of course Lopez has gained, which is not really a surprise. But of course the crucial thing is, Car is pitting again. And this was what happened here actually. This was Tomaselli battling with Moichin. There was contact there. The car's sliding through the corner. Moichin really doesn't seem to have pace in this stint at all. So, and there was the contact right there, and he gets shoved way off the circuit into the UBS sign. And yeah, so he misses the position there. So anyway, as I was saying, Car at the moment is leading. He's pitting. Lopez will of course take the lead, but of course Lopez is going to the end on these tyres, which are just clearly, well, by the end of the race, they're going to be rims, really, particularly in the wet conditions, as Car is lapping the Force India at a really dodgy place here. And, oh, no! Oh, you could just see that was going to happen there. I was hoping it wasn't. You could see that coming a mile off. I was just like, please don't let that happen, and it has happened. Oh, dear. Now, turning, you really got to feel for the guy. Another unlucky place he was in there, and he's out. So you could just see that was you could just see that was coming. You really could, and I was just like, I hope he backs off, or I hope Car doesn't move to the left. So I wonder actually if Car will get a penalty. Did he get damage? I'm not sure, but as Car actually comes into the pits, or does he? He's going very wide. Oh, and he actually hits the wall there on Car as he comes into the pits, but gets away without damage, so he is a very lucky man. So he pits, and of course he'll relinquish the lead to Franco Lopez, who now takes the lead of this Grand Prix. Can he hold it? We'll see. But as I said, you really got to feel for now. Turning as Willows shoves the Haas wide there as he laps him of Franco Gamba. And Willows is going to come across. Will he come out ahead of Car? No, it looks like Car is going to come out ahead of Willows, which is important, of course. I suppose if Willows did come out ahead, he'd let him through anyway. But now, of course, the showdown is on whether Lopez can hold off Car. I personally just don't see that happening. Meanwhile, Florian Volker is now coming in for his final stop of the race. Now, he, of course, has had a good race so far. Gal, of course, pitted before and will be going to the end. But I think Volker can easily catch Gal and overtake him, because he's very quick, it seems. I suppose no surprise, really, because the Mercedes is the best car. But Volker himself has performed very well this race. It kind of all has worked out for him ever since, yes, the incident earlier on involving Willows and the other Red Bull. But yeah, I see it. He could definitely get P4 out of this race, Volker, that's for sure. Now here we are looking at Roberto Gamma, who is behind Titkoff in the manor. And as he comes through the S's part of the circuit, as they now head towards the back straight, Roberto Gamma is going to try and make a move on the inside. Is he going to make it stick? The answer is yes, he is. A good move there for 13th, although they were very, very close to contact there. But nonetheless, Roberto Gamma has made a clean move this race. Now we're looking at Willows at the moment. Is running in P3. He's going to be going a few more laps until he pits one more time. To quote your favourite Daft Punk song. And so Willows coming through the final corner there, as Chung has run wide in the same place that Franco Gamma did, and she goes over the curve a bit there, but she carries on. But although it doesn't look like she's going to be getting a good amount of points today, but the gap is, I think it was 11 seconds it was to Car, and Car on fresher wets is easily going to haul that down. So Gal, of course, is running at the moment in P4. The question is, will Volker be able to catch up to him before the end, will be the big question. Lopez about to lap, it looks like Renault Moichin in the Force India. So the gap, I think Willows to Carr was going up a bit there actually. Gal to Willows is coming down actually, and it's going to be interesting. I mean, I wonder actually, Gal could still be in possibly with a battle of podium here, because of course Gal will, if he continues closing down the gap as he is, will be ahead by the time Willows pits, but of course Willows will be on fresher tyres, so there's just a whole host of factors to consider here. So this race is certainly not done yet, and Lopez certainly by any means is not the winner, because we've still got we've got 18 laps left of this race. Anything can happen as Tomaselli now runs wide. We're all running right at this corner here, and unfortunately they're just really struggling with grip, I suppose. Gap, I think, out front I saw was only about 10 seconds. So as you look at Lopez, who's coming up to Moitian, I think that was in the 4th seat now, Tomaselli is in for his final stop of the race. So into the pits he comes. He's had an alright race, I guess, Tomaselli. He's been in and around the points, that's for sure, and as he goes right to the end of the pit lane where his pit box is. There it is, there's the crew, and the team colours totally representing the team that he is racing for. Anyway, Tomaselli pits, here we go to the end, 16 laps left, and boom. So he's going to come out, looks like, ahead of his fellow Italian Franco Gamba. So the gap, I couldn't quite see what it was between Carr and Lopez, but I'm pretty sure it'd come down. So the fight for the win is set to happen pretty soon, I think. So Tomaselli, as I said, has come out in 9th, and the gap is coming down between Gal and Willows for P3 as Roberto Gamba gets lapped by, that is, I believe, oh, Willows goes, whoa, Willows making a little mistake there, and needs to keep calm really, otherwise Gal is going to, he's definitely going to be ahead of him by the time he pits. But a little mistake there from Joseph Willows. See him coming through, just gets a little bit on the curb and then goes a little bit wider, and of course in the slippery conditions, being on the curbs is just about the worst thing you could possibly do really, other than being on dries on a wet track. That's, I think, I'm pretty sure that's the worst thing. That's definitely the worst thing you could really do. But nonetheless, Willows made a slight error there, but carries on his day. So I'm just interested to see the gap between Lopez and Carr now. It's definitely going to be reduced by probably about 2 seconds or so at least. But as we look at Roland Moitian, who's in 8th, Gal, of course, is just going through some lap traffic. And so we look at him coming through, and oh no! It's the McLaren again! And oh dear, the McLarens have, oh dear. And Miguel Oscal has just been unnecessarily taken out there by De Rosa, and the McLarens have just been an absolute ping pong for chaos really. Anyone who goes near them gets hit punterinoed up the back. So Miguel Oscal, he was having an alright race actually, so he was set to probably get at least a top 4, well certainly top 5, but top 4 at least. Was certainly on for a possible battle of the podium, but he is going to be getting nothing from this race. Great news for Florian Volker though, and for him in the championship. He now moves up into 4th position now, but De Rosa had just been lapped by Gal, and then coming into the corner, I guess didn't expect Gal to maybe break as early as he did, but still, yeah, just an unfortunate incident there. So of course the incident between those two, no surprise, is being put under investigation. So we'll see what happens from that. So meanwhile, we look at Chung in front of her favourite car, the Mercedes. And now she will be behind it as Volker goes by and she pits. So at the moment, Evan Byrne running in a pretty solid 5th position at this moment in time as Mackenzie. Oh my goodness me! And the same thing, almost a deja vu moment there. And the gap was only 3 seconds actually, as Mackenzie was being lapped and now has unlapped himself. So that's great news for Lopez. It means he stays ahead for longer. But he's got 15 laps to hold on, and I'd be surprised if he could. This will be tough for him, that's for sure. But yeah, that was a... I mean, Carr has certainly been very lucky. Went into the pit lane wall after that incident with Turin. He's now been hit by Mackenzie, and fortunately, no damage was done. Roberto Gamba, meanwhile, is coming in. I mean, look at the gap now, 7 seconds. It was only about 3, and of course Carr was held up significantly by that whole encounter with Mackenzie, so not good for him. Of course, Mackenzie used to race at Mercedes, so of course maybe he's trying to help his former employees, or his former employers, I should say. As Roberto Gamma, of course, is pitting, but at this moment Lopez is still leading. The gap was 7 seconds, but I think the gap will probably come down a bit now that Carl's probably free. And yep, it's down to 7 seconds, so that gap is going to gradually come down even more. So Willow's at this moment in time dropping down behind Carr. So looking at Volker, how far is he behind? He's 45 seconds behind. Byrne, of course, running a very solid race in 5th position. He's not put a foot wrong today, to be fair, and 5th place would definitely be thoroughly deserving for him as well. That is for sure. So as you look at Carr coming around about to come around the final corner. So Willow's in 3rd at the moment. I can't remember if he needs to stop or not. I'm pretty sure he does actually. Volker, crucially, actually doesn't need to pit again, whereas Willow's does. So actually, at this moment in time, Volker might actually get a podium from this race, which would definitely be some respite after the incident earlier on in the race involving Willows and Hutter. So he'd definitely be happy with that if he gets a podium, Volker, and particularly for him in the championship as well, with Carl winning, of course. Well, I suppose I say Carl winning, but Lopez is winning, but I don't see how he'll hold on from Carr. But it's going to be very interesting. Of course, Volker will probably hope that Lopez does a favour and maybe holds off from Carr, but of course Lopez himself is in with the title fight. So what do you do in these situations? Titkoff has just run wide there. Many people have made mistakes at that very corner. I think that's about the 4th or 5th driver that's done that this race. Carr's really struggling into that, and yeah, many mistakes have been made. So as we look, we've only got 13 laps to go, so anything can still happen in these 13 laps, that is for sure. Lopez at the moment still leading, but the gap between him and Carr is coming down lap by lap. It's now down to 5.5 seconds, so I'd imagine the next probably 2-3 laps Carr will be on his back, and we could see a very interesting battle for the race win here. It's definitely not over yet, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this ends. So as we look, Lopez coming through, as you look at Laura Chung actually running in, running a little bit wide there, and oh, she's off. She is off, and Moitin, I think, has just got past Mackenzie for 6th position on the circuit, as as you can see, Moitin has got through past Mackenzie, and so has Willers actually. And oh, that's why, it's because Mackenzie made a mistake at that corner. That must be at least the 5th or 6th person now. Made a mistake there. So now, of course, Willows is coming into the pits for his final stop of the race. So we'll see where he comes out onto the circuit. It'll come up behind Volker, of course. It'll be on fresher tyres, but actually I don't know what the gap was between him and Volker actually. But interesting to say the least what happens between the two. So he comes out. I imagine Volker's going to go past, and yep, there he is, just about to go past across the line. So Volker will be ahead, but Willows will be on fresher tyres. So I wonder. I mean, Volker's definitely not secured that P3 yet, as Willows now comes out, and Volker just going around the first corner now, so it's not a huge gap, so Willows can easily track it down. That is for sure, so we'll see if he can do that or not. So we see Lopez and Carr now on the same straight together. We've only got 12 laps to go of this race, and anything can happen. No one knows what even the top 4 is going to be yet. The top 4, at the moment, it could easily change. And the gap actually is now coming down. It's now 4 seconds between Lopez and Carr, now down over half a second in just that sector alone. So Carr's going to be on his back either next lap or the lap after, so it's going to be a very tense ending. But Lopez, I get why they tried that Mercedes on the strategy, and it has worked. It's worked, but how much longer is it going to start to come apart very soon? As we're looking at Mackenzie, who's yet again made another mistake and has lost another position to, I think that was Tomaselli. So he's now down to 8th position there. So Mackenzie throwing away some good points at this moment in time. But the gap to Volker is 35 seconds at this moment in time. Carr is ahead of Volker, so it doesn't look like Volker's going to be, of course, in with a shout. He's still going to get a podium, Volker, well, possibly, depending on if Willows can pass him, which I imagine. I'd be surprised if he doesn't pass him in the next couple of laps or so, as Titkoff goes wide there and loses position to Chung. He's pitting anyway, so Chung would have got through anyway. So at the moment, Roland Moitin himself actually having a solid race in 6th. Tomaselli actually is closing up to the back of him as well, so we could see a battle there. Volker now coming through. What's the gap actually? Is it coming down? About 3.6 seconds, so about the same. I think I saw Mackenzie was pitting actually once more. So this is the battle for P6 now. This is between Radomojin and Tomaselli. Tomaselli having a great end to this race at this moment in time. He's trying to pass the Hungarian, and is he going to overtake him coming through? No, he's not going to be able to do it here. So you have to wait until the back straight to make the move. And as Mojin goes wide, he's almost following him through the corner. Gap now only 1.5 seconds. Carr is really reeling him in now. So the battle for the lead is going to be going on with just 10 laps left to go in this race. Meanwhile, Tomaselli desperately trying to get past Mojin down the back straight. And is he going to make the move now? And I think he is. And he is through. And he moves up into P6. So a great end to this race by Panini Tomaselli. And of course, actually, I didn't realise Mojin is pitting once more. So that probably explains why he is struggling. Meanwhile, the battle for the race lead is about to happen. Omar Carr is right behind the Mercedes of Franco Lopez. I think Lopez's tyres are surely going to be at the end of their life now as he comes across the line. We're now on lap 46 out of 56. And Lopez leading this race, but how much longer can he hold on? The gap now less than a second. Carr is going to be all over him. And I wonder how quickly he'll be able to make this move. I don't see Lopez being able to hold on for 10 more laps. It might be able to hold on for a couple laps or so, but I think it will be all for nothing. It was 7/10, it's now 3/10. So Carr is right behind coming through the S's, and now will he wait until the back straight, or will he even do it before then? But Carr is right behind, almost pushing Lopez through the corner. And here we go, Carr's right behind, he's going to try and make the move. Here is he. He's on the inside on Carr. This is a crucial move. And I think he's through, is he? Unless Lopez can hold it round the outside. And I think Carr is through. So he now takes lead of this race, and Lopez, unless he can make a move back, and no he doesn't actually, he's got a bad run off the corner. So Omar Carr is your new race leader. So with 10 laps to go, I mean, for Mercedes, I think it was a gamble worth taking, but unfortunately it has now really not paid off. And I think if I was Mercedes, I'd probably pit Lopez now just to put him on some fresh wets, really, because otherwise. I mean, I don't think the guys behind will challenge him, but it'll certainly lose a lot of time to Carr and a lot to the guys behind. But anyway, so we'll see what happens with that. So Lopez, at the moment, he looks like he'll still get P2 because I said they were very far ahead of Volker and Willows, and actually Willows, who still hasn't actually attacked Volker despite being on fresher tyres, FYI. So as we look at Lopez coming through the final corner and seeing that Ferrari just slowly becoming almost a blip in the distance as well. Mojin must be at least 6 or 7. I think it must be 7. They've made a mistake. I'm sure of it. Through there. Now here we are looking at Lopez at the moment in P2. The car is just well clear now. So it looks like Lopez is set to take what is going to be P2. So Evan Byrne actually is in the pits for his final stop of the race, but he looks set to take a very comfortable P5 at the moment. That was the gap. Volker 31 seconds behind, so he's about 25. Yeah, I mean, I think Lopez has got P2 secured. I think he's comfortably ahead. He's got almost a pit stop ahead. So if he really wanted to, if he pitted now, he'd probably just about come out ahead. But I think he'll probably just stick with it and go to the end as he comes across the line. Evan Byrne comes out in P5. Is he going to come out ahead of Lopez? The answer is yes, he is. He's going to be on fresher tyres as well, so you won't want to give the position up to Lopez. It looks like he's already going to get away, coming through in towards the S's, and the answer is yes, he does. So as you look at Volker right now coming across the line in P3, I'm still surprised Willows has not actually closed up and tried to overtake him quicker than he has. I really thought he would, but I guess not. So at the moment, Omar Carr is still leading the gap, going up lap by lap by lap by lap by lap, and Lopez the gap, of course, to Carr just going up rapidly. So the gap, I think it was definitely down quite a bit. It was actually, I think, down to about 19 seconds down to Volker. But there is, how many laps to go? There's 7 laps. So, anyways, we look at Radomojin coming in for his final stop of the race for the pink Mercedes. Tomaselli at the moment having a very solid race in 6th as well. I mean, shout out to Byrne and Tomaselli having very good races. And yeah, they're just doing very well, really. Franco Gavin running down in P10, so it looks like he's still going to get some points. As now we're on to the final lap of this race, and this is Volker. And is that Lopez out in front? If that is, then we could still have a battle on for P2 here. So, amazingly, I wasn't sure if they were going to do it, as De Rosso actually received a 20-second penalty for causing the incident with Gal, not surprised. I wasn't sure if they would be able to close the gap, but it looks like they will on the final lap of this race, so we could still see some more position changes. Volker is closing, and he's going to catch him by the end of the lap, or maybe even closer than that, because Lopez's tyres are absolutely dead. And Will, as I said, still hasn't actually been able to close up and make the move past Volker like I thought he would. But here we go. This is crucial for the championship. Lopez really struggling, and Volker is surely going to just pass him easily. We're like taking candy from a baby. This has got to be. Volker right behind in the slipstream. Is he going to make a move on the inside? Is he going to go for it? No, Lopez moves to the left. And Volker, is he going to make the move stick? He's not going to do it here, but of course he'll do it on the back straight surely. But Armor Car at the moment is your race leader, and he's set to take a crucial race win. Meanwhile, Volker is now passing his teammate Lopez, and Lopez surely has just got to give it to him. There's no point in defending because he just has no defence. The tyres are gone, Bono. The tyres are gone. And Volker is through, and I think Lopez went very much wide there. Willers could even take P3. He's alongside Lopez. And Lopez, is he going to hold on? It looks like he might just about. Lopez does keep the position. Meanwhile, Armor Car has come around the final corner and is going to win the US Grand Prix. A well-deserved victory for him as he's across the line. And as we look at the rest of the order coming through, there's Roberto Gamma coming across the line 12th. And Volker is set to take P2. So from absolutely nowhere, unbelievable recovery from Florian Volker, who has managed to take it looks like he's managed to take P2 from this race. Meanwhile, we're looking at Joseph Willis, who is coming through, and this was him, of course, attempting to get past Lopez. I thought he had it then. He should have just gone for it, because he would have had the momentum, but Lopez managed to just about hold it with all he had, and has kept the position. Of course, this is the replay, so if we go back to live, this battle can still continue on. So Volker, let's take second. Here we go. Willis, will he try a late move into the final corner? Is he going to go for it? No, it looks like he's not. So Volker, a fantastic recovery, and he's set to take P2. So fair play to him. What a performance. And coming across the line, Lopez is just going to hold off Willers for P3. So he'll be frustrated. Lopez was winning with 10 laps left, but couldn't hold on. Really unlucky for him. Tomaselli, a great performance from him, and he'll take 6th for Sauber. Maxime Titkoff set to come across the line in 13th position for Manor. Pretty forgetful race for him as he's across the line. Jay McKenzie, he'll come across the line in 7th. I wouldn't say it's been his greatest race for him, but still 7th position I think is, I mean, he could have finished ahead of Tomaselli, but I think 7th is, yeah, I mean, that's probably as best he would have got had he not struggled as much and made some mistakes. Roland Moichin, he definitely could have finished higher as well. He was with Byrne early on, but he struggled a lot during this race, so he'll be disappointed, I think, with 8th. And we're looking at De Rossa. So De Rossa, despite his incident with Gal, of course, he'll still take points from McLaren. Well, I say points, it'll be a point, because Franco Gamba is very close behind him. Of course, De Rossa has got a 20-second time penalty, so he'll drop down to 10th, and I wonder if he'll drop down any more places. I don't know who's behind Franco Gamba as he comes across the line. Actually, behind Franco Gamba is Evan Byrne, who will take a very well-deserved P5, so well done to him. So race over, so I think actually De Rossa will just drop down to 10th place, as here is the full race results. So Armor Car winning ahead of Florian Volker in 2nd, Franco Lopez in 3rd, Joseph Willis in 4th, Evan Byrne the last corner lead lap in 5th, Aleo Tomaselli 6th, Jay McKenzie 7th, Roland Moichin 8th, Franco Gamba moving ahead of De Rossa into 9th due to De Rossa's time penalty, and Laura Chung in 11th, 2 laps down. Armor Car setting the fastest lap actually at 1:30.6. Roberto Gamma also 12th with a 10-second time penalty, but he stayed there. Maxime Titkoff 13th, the last finisher, with Miguel Oscar, Turina Tiernan, David Greenwood, Gabriel Gomez, Joel Hutter, Etienne Jones, Felix Sontag, Lincoln Campana, and George Roque, the drivers who did not finish this race. So now we'll take a look at the driver standings and constructors after a dramatic race in America. And Florian Volker, crucially, still does lead the championship ahead of Armor Car with a fantastic recovery. The gap only 6 points though, and Franco Lopez, he'll be gutted he didn't win this race. In 3rd, Joseph was in 4th, who I believe actually is still mathematically within a shout of the title. Joel Hutter 5th, and Miguel Oscar 6th. Looking through the rest of the order, Jay McKenzie moving actually ahead up into 12th ahead of Chung and now Turner. Then Gomez, De Rossa getting some more points, further away from his teammate Roberto Gamma, Felix Sontag, Campana, Parajki, Jones, Titkoff, and of course David Greenwood, who didn't finish this race. But you got to feel for him, Greenwood certainly performed very well on his first race back, so I hope to continue that for the rest of the season. Now we'll finally take a look at the constructors' standings after the US GP, and here we go. So Mercedes still leading, the gap to Ferrari not quite unstable yet. They could actually win the constructors in Mexico, but they need a lot of luck to do that. Red Bull in third on the road, Haas fourth, Renault gaining a bit on them. In fifth, Sauber, Force India, Toro Rosso, McLaren, Williams, and Manor completing the rest of the standings. So there we go. That was the US Grand Prix at the COTA Circuit of the Americas. So if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to please, guys, vote for your driver of the day. I give the race rating out of 10. Don't forget to check out all our links in the description. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you for the Mexican Grand Prix at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. See you there.